Demon Tony's channel for your weekly dose of F4 action from the PSGL League. I'll be joined momentarily by Cliffy in the booth, who just ran off to do something real quick. As we head into the second round of the season, we take a look at the points standings, and obviously after 1 week it will be how they finished last week. So as a reminder, we had Lars with the win with 16 points, Mr. Grumpy in second with 12, Chicken Owns in third with 10, Hulkenberger with 8, Blue Mosquito with 6, Merc with 5, Steba with 4, Lordy Boy with 3, Martin with 2, and Warren Haig with 1. So as they head to China, we have Martin here, who won the F5 race last season at China. So he'll be looking to make it 2 in a row, even though it's in a different league. And you got Grumpy, who's got the experience, and pretty sure Hulkenberger's strong at China too. What else we got here? Betrayer's always strong. Steba's insane on pace. Hello, Haig. There's another contender there, Haig. Especially if some rain shows up. Haig did really well in the rain last season. Let's see if I can throw this thumbnail on now so I don't have to waste time later and do it. Nope. From what I hear, Merc is pretty fast as well. Lorry Boy has the pace, and former F1 driver. So he's always a threat to win. Looks like we got 14 drivers this evening. And it is officially 8 o'clock, so they might be go time. They're waiting for Fraggle still. Oh yeah, let me Hey, Game Freaker. How you doing, sir? Trying to remember back to the China race last season. I believe that was the race Aaron passed Josh on the outside of turn 1 with his fake move. Alright, let's see. My channel. Share. Copy. Be interesting to see what kind of weather we have today. I know in the FP race, they had slight rain. And the race on Thursday was dry. We had rain at the end of our... Oh, wow. We got heavy rain in qualifying. Hey, From. That's a lot of rain. It's a monsoon out there. Let's see, I shared it. F6, F4. I'll throw it in F1 chat. Alright, so word from the garage area is dry race, but wet quali. Or enters quali, sorry. Yeah. Well, on a screen it looks like it's heavy rain, but, you know. I mean, it rained for 8 laps yesterday and the track never got wet enough for the enters, and I was just sliding all over the track in my race. It felt like I was driving on ice. Simo's out there on the Ultras. What's Simo doing? Oh, wait. Hold on. I know. Before From reminds me this time, I got this. I had to lower it last night because I couldn't hear people talking in the party. Alright. Nope. Go on board with Martin here in the Toro Rosso. Yeah, on this headset I have From, it's so loud that I can't hear anybody else. So I always knock it down during the week and I forget until you remind me every stream. What? Oh. Enough of your camera angles that are crap. And the McLarens are on track together there. That car doesn't sound healthy. Alright, because Martin threw the hairpin, ready to take the line to start his first lap. Is Lordy ahead of him? Nope. So Martin is first on track. Oh, Simmel does have inters on now. Whoa, Martin with a little slide there. Be seeing a lot of that in the rain. Yeah, it's that old age for him. I mean, my hearing's not as good as it used to be. So. Martin's lap's looking pretty tidy other than that early slide. Like I mentioned before, he was last season's winner in F5. A race that I missed due to food poisoning. So that's the only reason why you won, Martin. Oh, the yellows in sectors 1 and 2. Probably somebody went sliding off during, call it the merry-go-round turn. They need to fix that. Alright, there we go. Pretty tight through the hairpin. As he heads toward the final corner to set the first legit lap of the session. Ooh, looked like he cut that a bit. Yep. Force India. Who's Force India? Is that Blue Mosquito? No.
Matt?
Hello, sir.
Hello. Right, I need to make sure my voice. I need to make sure my thing's allowed to be shared.
Ah.
Yeah, it's on.
Alright, so now that he's back, we'll welcome Cliffy to the booth. How are you doing tonight, Cliffy?
Hello, everyone, and yeah, I mean, I'm a bit ill, so I'm a bit under the weather, so expect not as hype as I was last week at Australia, but as I came back, I just saw Awesome Dude, or Andrew, as we know him by go off in the last corner and break the whole of his wing.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
yeah, it's not been a great, a great lap here. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, the wet
Um,
conditions are a true test here at China.
yeah, I think in the dry alone is a test, especially on this game. So I mean, I can only imagine how difficult it is for these guys doing it in the wet.
Exactly. Well, according to the garage, it is a wet quali and a dry race. So I expect out of the 14 drivers, I'll say 13 of them start on softs.
Yeah, I
There'll be
agree.
there'll be that one guy. One guy will start in ultras.
Now, if you were any of these guys, Matt, what would you do? Would you run a dry setup for the race, or would you run a wet setup just to get pole and have a bit of track position for the race?
Ooh, that's a good question because everybody will be on the same strategy with fresh tires. I I think what I would do is I would run the dry setup, but raise the front wing so it's like rain ready, so you could qualify like that, then just lower it back down for the race.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you. I'll do the exact same. I'd possibly run a higher front wing and lower it for the race because you are allowed to. I think with part firme on,
Yeah.
so it should be. That's what I'll do anyway. Whether everyone else is doing that, I don't know. But at the moment, Mr. Grumpy, original pole. As I
Oh.
say that, Merck goes half a second quicker and dips into the 45s. So good luck for Merck there.
In the chat, they were saying he was the favorite, or in the group chat, not the stream chat. Oh, cheater,
Yeah.
cheater sneaks in there.
Oh, look at that, Mr. Grumpy hitting back 45.7. So we're getting into the mid 45s now, and we're not even midway through qualifying yet. So it's going to be very, very interesting these last 10 minutes. It seems to be between Merck and Mr. Grumpy at the minute, the fight for pole. And so far, the fan favourite Merck, well, I say fan favourite, the racist favourite Merck, doing a good job in second place. So hopefully he can convert that second place into a race win.
And another key thing for the wet quali and the dry race, these tires don't matter. So they could do as many laps as they want, as many runs as they want during qualifying, and it won't affect the start of the race.
Yep. I mean, how many laps would you do, Matt, on a set of inters in qualifying?
3 at most, but usually 2 if I messed up one lap.
Yep. I think I'll do maybe 2. I think 3 is the max I'll do, as we see Hulk go provisional pole with 45.4. So I mean, can't keep up with this guy. Steber 45.3. So the times are tumbling here. And Merck, who was in second place a minute ago, is down to 6th place. Lordy boy out qualified him to set a 45.8. So these guys are definitely finding pace, finding a better racing line, and it's showing in the lap times. But Lordy was on board when he went off track there, so he's going to be brought in this lap and maybe pitted for a fresh set of inters.
Ooh. And yes, Haig, I do like your helmet. Haig went with the pink helmet, supporting the fight against cancer and matching his car.
Yep.
And Grumpy.
Yeah, no, that's helmet.
45 flat.
Yeah, so I mean, Mr. Grumpy at the minute, as soon as someone gets pole, he just pops in a couple tenths quicker and goes, no, not so fast. This is my pole. No one's having it.
He's like, I have the experience. This is mine.
Yeah. But it is very close though, Matt. I mean, other than obviously Grumpy being 3 tenths quicker than Steber, but from Steber down to, I'd say, Merck, you're looking at 6 tenths, and in these conditions, that ain't a lot of time. I mean, you could gain that in one corner if you do it right and get the traction down nicely. But I mean, it's giving me a chance to see what lap times could be for my F1 race tomorrow if it is wet in qualifying.
Yeah. I'll say they'll dip down to the low 44s because it looks like, even though it's raining, the track is drying out a bit. because everyone's tumbling down.
Yeah, I agree.
So maybe 44-3, 44-5 around there toward the end.
Yeah, and Hulk just went P2, I believe, with 45 flat.
Yeah.
So Hulk and Mr. Grumpy definitely on the same pace in these conditions. But I mean, qualifying is one thing, the race is another thing. So I think that will be a eye opener for these guys, because I mean, these guys are going to get used to intermediates now, and then they're going to all of a sudden go onto a dry track.
Yep.
So going to take a couple laps to adjust to the different braking zones and what have you. But I think first couple laps will be people seeing the braking zones, and then after that we'll see some great racing, hopefully.
Oh, for sure. They didn't disappoint us last week.
Oh yeah, no. Without a shadow of a doubt, they did not disappoint. And the only man to not set a lap, Kingdom Martin, who I was in a party with just before the race, and he said, before I left the party, he said, Cliffy, I'll be speaking to you again on the podium. So that's strong words from Martin down in 14th place, who can't even set a time there. He's on an out lap. So hopefully he can set a relatively competitive time and catapult himself up the order.
Oh, for sure. He was out earlier. He invalidated in the final corner. But
right, okay.
He did win the F5 race at China last season, so the confidence is there.
Yeah.
Betrayer, 44-7.
Oh wow! So these times are definitely coming down.
And Shoaib only half a tenth off. Nice lap from Shoaib. Looking for redemption from last week with his late race crash.
And Game Freak are 44-3, I think that says. So
yeah.
I mean, I think pole at this point is anyone's guess, because we're seeing, I think more or less everyone at some point in the session has been in pole position. So it's definitely going to come down to the last couple minutes.
Yeah, it's
see who can nail the lap.
Yeah, whoever takes the line last is going to get pole, I think.
Yep, and Martin's just starting a lap, so I'm going to stay with Martin and see if he gets on the right. Looking quite good so far through turn one. I mean, the back end is everywhere, but that's expected in these conditions.
Oh, for sure.
Turn to a nice wide line, but wanting to hug the apex on exit. It's a relatively good exit. Back end still slipping out though, but he does manage to control it. Comes into sector one. Ooh, got a bit on the curb there. I think that unsettled the car as he went into turn 3. Now comes the hard bit of the track. The swooping left-hander, which then switches to the swooping right-hander, and then you've got the fast left-handers one after the other. And Martin is navigating this track quite nicely at the minute. I think he's been quite kind on them curbs, which is expected. But at the moment, Martin looks like he's on a nice, clean lap. I'm not going to say it's the quickest, but I'm just going to check his sector times now and compare them. So 27.5. Oh, okay, so Martin's actually on a decent lap. So if Martin can keep it clean, then Martin could be on for somewhere in, I'd say, the top 5.
Oh, for sure. Back camera angle.
Yeah. He's going to come down to the hard braking zone at the hairpin. Goes wide on entry, but manages to get the traction on exit. So this could be maybe even the pole time. Who knows? Martin comes on the last corner, takes that very, very kind, and he's going to set a 45.3. So he's a second down on pole. But as I say that, Lordy boy, 44.2. So Lordy boy definitely. I mean, as we said last week, Lordy has the F1 experience. So don't count Lordy out just yet. But I mean, it's anyone's guess who's going to get pole.
Yeah, still 3 more exciting minutes to go.
Yep. looking good for Ferrari at the minute, first and third respectfully. And I think other than that, I think the only other team that come close are I'm going to say Toro Rossos in 6th and 9th.
Yeah, 'cause you know, Stubba, he's going to pull a magic lap out.
Yeah, I mean, we saw last week Stebber and Lars. I mean, they had a fantastic battle, I think, for the whole of the second stint of the race until I think Stebber. Wow, that lap from Mr. Grumpy though, 43.8. That stopped me mid-sentence because how quick that lap was. But yeah, Stebber and Lars had a very good battle last week until I think it was Stebber who made a mistake and had to pit, I think.
Yeah, he clipped the curb and hit the wall.
Yeah, so Stebber was looking for redemption, but at the minute, Mr. Grumpy, in a world of his own, I mean, 4/10 the gap to second place. But again, that could be down to conditions as the time tumbles down. He's yellow in sector 3.
And he spun again, so it doesn't look like he's going to get a qualifying run in.
Yeah, so I think that's it for the McLaren driver. Has he got a front wing? Because if he has, he might be able to set.
He might. I think it was just a spin.
Okay. And then we can set the again.
That's him just slowing down to let people by.
Yeah. So I think all the guys now are starting a lap. And I think the last guy to cross the line might be Simo.
Ooh.
Oh no, it'd be Ron Haig, sorry. Not Simo, Ron Haig will be the last car to cross the line. If he even makes it, he's got 35 seconds now to get down his back straight, round the hairpin. He should make it, but he's going to be quite close.
Yeah. Hopefully he doesn't cut the last corner, because that would be this and next.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna stay on board with him, but I think he's going to be very close. I don't think he's going to make it. I think he's timed that all wrong.
Ooh, 10, 9.
I don't think he's going to do it. Definitely not going to do it now.
He just missed it. Oh, Haig. Bad luck, man.
Haig will not improve. Now it's the fight for pole. Who's going to get it? I think anyone who's on a lap can get it. I think Lordy Boy's about to finish this lap, so let's see where Lordy Boy goes. And he doesn't improve, so maybe Lordy got invalid, who knows. Have a quick look. Oh no, he set a 44.1, which was only a tenth quicker than his previous lap.
Yeah, I'm on board here with Simo after a rough race last week.
Yeah, Stebber has gone net P1 with a 43.7, so only a tenth quicker than Mr. Grumpy. Hulk's crossed the line, 43.9, so that's a good lap from him to end the session. Game Freaker now. Across the line, but Merck, Game Freaker's lost it! He's in the wall! And his wheel's off! And that's qualifying over for Game Freaker. But as all that was happening, Merck stuck in, 43.6.
Here comes Grumpy.
All eyes on Miss. Yeah, can Mr. Grumpy get pole? No, he can't. At the moment, Merck is on pole position for this race. And I think that is all she wrote, Matt. I think that is the end of qualifying, unless Simo pulls out an absolute masterclass and snatches pole from Merck. I don't see Simo doing it, but who knows? Stranger things have happened in PSGL.
7th or 8th?
Ninth.
9th. Yeah, I knew he was in the middle there.
Top 10.
Yep. And with the dry race, everybody gets fresh tires to start, so there's no advantages. And it's basically strategy now. Alright, so after that exciting qualifying where times just continue to tumble, we get Merck on pole with a 43.6, besting Stebba by 0.04 of a second. And third is Grumpy. And fourth is Hulkenberg. Fifth, Blue Mosquito. Lordy Boy, Game Freaker, Cheater, Simo, and Betrayal round out your top 10. And then 11th is Shoaib. 12th is Martin. 13th is Haig. And rounding out the grid will be Andy in 14th after a rough qualifying session.
Well, I mean, didn't go well for Andy. Let's hope he likes the dry conditions around China, because if it was wet for the race, Matt, you'd have to say that Andy would be the first to retire.
Yeah. He could also been running a dry setup in the rain too, so.
That is very true. And your little guess, and everyone was going to start on softs. I think you're right.
Is it all 14? I said 13 out of 14. Because there's always one guy.
So far, everyone is starting on soft tyres. So far, from what I'm seeing.
I don't see anything. I just see a garage.
Oh, Warren Haig has opted for the mediums, so that could be
that's
interesting strategy from him. And Simo. Wow.
Mediums to ultras, I see. Oh.
So you were close, Matt, with 13 people being on softs.
All right, and as usual, we'll start this season off with the formation lap.
So we know Merck and Steber and Grumpy are pretty even in wet pace.
I mean, Martin's one of the favorites because he won last season. The winner for F4 last season isn't here. Last week, making my predictions, and both people I chose didn't do well. I'm not going to pick anybody. We'll just do it.
Okay, but I'm gonna go for Merck to win, because I feel like he's just going to dominate this race. And I feel like Martin down in 12th. Now, he said he's going to get a podium, so I'm going to hold him to that. So if Martin doesn't get a podium, expect me to fire some shots at him on stream, just to make his day even better.
Well, the last time him and Andy raced together in a race was Bahrain in F5 last season, and they came to contact and ended Martin's day early on lap 2. So they're near each other on the grid. Hopefully they gave each other space today.
Yeah.
It's a running joke between them that they always make contact.
I'll watch from the back to see if there's any major accidents going into turn 1.
Yep. All right. They're warming up the tires as they file in and take their positions. We will soon have our 5 red lights. And another brilliant Sunday evening of racing will commence.
Yep.
How do we have a yellow sector 3 already? Race hasn't even started yet. 5 red lights. And they're gone. Away we go. Let's be a mad dash down to turn 1. Steppa with a better launch off the line. We'll take the inside. Oh, contact between Stebba and Merck going into 1. Gives Grumpy a chance on the inside to take the lead. Stebba fights back now on the inside of this corner to hold on. Merck might be a little frustrated with that. Oop. Grumpy on the inside will take the lead, and Merck will follow him through for second place.
At the back, everything was quite clean, to be fair, Matt. No real offs or damage from what I can see, so looking quite clean from at the back.
It's always good to see a clean start.
Yep. But you got Cheetah, you got Martin losing their position to Simo on the medium tyres. And now Ron Haig is down Martin's inside, but Martin will break later on them soft tyres. Squeeze Ron Haig, and Martin keeps that place. And looking quite weak so far in the dry conditions is Martin, so maybe he's just feeling the track lap 1.
Oh, this camera angle's awesome.
But Ron Haig is coming back at Martin now, so a bit of redemption. Martin drifts to the left. Ron Haig will have to go around Martin's outside, so Martin making it hard for the Force India driver. Martin will break late into the hairpin, and Martin does defend that position really well from Ron Haig.
And Grumpy's the first to the line on lap 1.
Got Blue Mosquito going wide at turn 1. That's going to allow Cheetah to go through, and maybe even Game Freak, who's taking a watching brief in this battle. So I think any of these two go off, Game Freak will definitely take advantage of it. And still Blue Mosquito and Cheetah side by side. Wheel banging as well, these two, so it's getting very close between them. And Cheetah down the inside of Blue Mosquito. Mosquito forced wide on the curb. Cheetah will get the move done, but Blue Mosquito down the inside is the fast left-hander. Again, Game Freak are taking a watching brief, and Cheetah makes the move stick. And Game Freak looks to go around Blue Mosquito's outside. Ooh, got very close there. But Blue Mosquito was able to defend from Game Freaker. Ooh, Merck going very wide out of the snail section. Got on the grass, didn't lose that much time, luckily. But that could have ended quite badly for the Red Bull driver. Hopefully he gets his bearings back and assaults an attack on Mr. Grumpy. And we have a fantastic battle for P1 and P2 at the minute with Steber. Again, not really attacking these, so I think again he's just after what happened last week, I think he's just taking it cautious and isn't really going to rush into things.
For sure. He had a close call on the first lap going to turn 1, so he doesn't want to force the issue. And DRS has been enabled as we are now on lap 3. So look for more passing as we come along here.
Yeah, I mean the top 5 are all within a second of each other, but Lordy Boy all over the back of Steber gun defensive. Lordy Boy thinking better of it, and he's going to wait. I think he's going to wait until the back straight. Going to try and get a better exit out of that snail section. Hopefully get the move done on Steber, who's actually losing touch to Merck and Mr. Grumpy. But I mean, if these four can sort of bunch up, then we can have a 4-way fight, even 5-way fight for the lead. And it's only lap 3. We'll go watch Merck now as DRS. He'll have DRS, ERS, and Slipstream. Can Merck make a move on Mr. Grumpy? He's gaining ever so slightly, not by much, but Mr. Grumpy defending the inside. Merck breaking very, very late into the hairpin. Luckily, not getting wing damage. But further back, no one's made any gains with the DRS. Blue Mosquito still behind Cheetah. But just no one really making any gains, Matt, with the DRS.
Nah, everyone's inside each other's DRS except for the leader, so they wouldn't gain much on each other. But
yeah. Oh, Martin, sorry, Matt. Martin went to go down inside of Shoaib into turn 1. It got very close between them, and Shoaib was able to keep the position. Luckily, no one got any damage. But at the back, we've got Andy going for a move on his teammate, making it stick. And now Andy looking quite strong and onto the back of Simo on who's on their medium tyre still, as is Ron Haig. I mean, their mediums, Matt, they're not working, are they, in these early stages of the race?
Oh no, they're going to take a little bit longer than the softs to dial in, but when they get dialed in, they could run off some pretty good laps.
Yeah, definitely. So you say about laps 7, 8, expect the mediums to start working. But going further up, we've got Game Freak and Blue Mosquito still still in this sort of three-car battle with Cheetah as well. So it's going to be interesting to see if Game Freak will get the double toe from the Ferrari and the Force India as they all navigate around the Snell section. Bubisky goes slightly wide, that's going to affect his exit ever so slightly, but up in front, Merck going storming around Mr. Grumpy's outside, and now Merck takes the lead, and Hulk and Lordy Boy getting close. Lordy Boy defending from Hulk, and everyone else not really able to make inroads with the DRS, but Andrew making a move now on Simo and making it stick, so Andy definitely making the most of that DRS, and is now in 12th place.
It looks like Andy's car is liking to dry a lot more than it did during qualifying.
Definitely. So you were right with him running a dry setup. Top 5 now, still covered within a second. Lordy Boy just losing touch to Stebber with his battle between Hulk last lap. But nonetheless, if he can get just a 10th, and there you go, Lordy Boy back within DRS with Stebber. Now falls back outside of it. It goes wide, sort of understeered into that left-hander. Now has lost a couple tenths. Now that's going to allow Hulk to close ever so slightly. And if Lordy doesn't get DRS, and you've got to say, Matt, he's going to be under threat from Hulk and that Williams behind him.
Oh yeah, if he doesn't get the DRS off the car in front of him, look for Hulk to have this pass by the hairpin.
Yep, and Lordy Boy going defensive. Stay in the middle of the track. Hulk will have to choose. He's going to go down inside.
Ooh.
Dummy to the outside. Hulk down the inside of Lordy. Lordy will hang it around the outside. Still side by side. A lot of respect given by both drivers, and Lordy, I think, has defended that position from Hulk. So good racing from these two. But up in front, we had Stebber and Mr. Grumpy going side by side momentarily. But I think Mr. Grumpy was able to defend it, and that battling has now allowed Merck to get a second lead on Mr. Grumpy, so he's broken that DRS. But Lordy Boy and Hulk going side by side again. Lordy defending very well at these early stages of the race, but you got to feel like that Hulk is the quicker driver of him and Lordy.
Right now it feels like he is, but Lordy's putting the car where he needs to keep Hulk in the rearview mirror. So good, hard, clean racing right there.
Yeah, definitely. And the same three cars, Game Freak, Blue Mosquito and Cheetah, just can't get away from each other. So you've got 6th, 7th, and 8th. Oh. And even, I mean, Shoaib is catching this battle as well, and he's bringing along with him Martin. So effectively, we've got two 5-car trains, one being the top 5, and 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th now all getting involved in the battles. So at the moment, room for a good race.
Oh, for sure. They might get spread out a little bit during the pit stops, but everyone will be bunched back together by the last 5 laps. So.
Yeah. And Blue Mosquito got a terrible exit coming out the Snell section. And Game Freak, I was able to take advantage of it. He's going to go down the inside. Behind them, we've got Martin going for a move on Shoaib. So Game Freak makes the move. Yes, he does. Does Martin make the move on Shoaib? Yes, he does. So we saw 2 moves there. Martin going up into 9th, and Game Freak going up into 7th place. So again, these cars still within a second of each other. So all these guys will get DRS.
And while those battles were going on, Stebba snuck by Grumpy into 2nd.
Ooh, yeah, I'm on board with Grumpy now, and there was almost a little bit of contact between the two drivers there, but luckily Grumpy backed out of it. And again, I feel like the top 3, I know Merck's got a 1.5 second lead, but that's because these guys are battling. I feel like all these guys are very even on pace.
Yeah, that's what I was saying last season during F4. It's like everybody had even pace. It was just who made less mistakes is who ended up front.
Yeah, and so far this man Merck taking advantage of the battles. And in the next 3 or 4 laps, we might see some cars dip into the pits, put on a set of mediums, and try maybe get an undercut on the guys ahead of them.
Now, if you were one of the 2 drivers that started on the mediums, we know they could do like 20, 21 laps at most, maybe 22. Do you take them that long and pit for ultras, or do you take them to like lap 18 and do the last 10 on softs?
I'd take him to lap 18 and sit on set of softs, definitely.
I know the ultras don't last too long here, so.
No, 4 laps max, I'd say, before they start losing. Speed.
You know, these guys were so close that it's 15.2 seconds separates the whole field.
Wow. Incredible.
And that's after 7.5 laps.
It's not bad. Game 3 car going down the inside of Cheetah. Get close. Cheetah gets a better exit and is defend. We're seeing some good defensive driving. He's opening a couple laps.
And it's both Ferraris
it's
too.
See. It's good to see from F4. I mean, maybe some of the guys in F1 and take some notes from these guys who are defending fair and clean.
Yes. And you know they'll be watching because they need to take some notes for their strategies for tomorrow evening.
Yeah. So that was a major shot at F1 there for myself. But I mean, the gaps are now starting to form. But I mean, Game Freaker is still on the back of Cheetah. He's going to get DRS. Is he going to go down the inside? Yes, he is. Cheetah didn't really defend inside that well. Game Freaker down the inside.
Oh wow!
Wow, that's.
He barely cut that.
No, not at all.
Alright, so we'll make note of that, so we have proof for ourselves that he didn't even cut that, in case he disputes it.
Yeah. I mean, I was on broadcast view, so I mean, whether that will get a better view or not of it, I don't know. But Game 3 car, not letting that penalty dishearten him. He goes round the outside into turn 1 and gets the move done into turn 2. So now Game 3 up into 6th place. All that battling has meant he's now 4 seconds behind his teammate Hulk, who is still on the back of the other Ferrari of Lordy Boy.
And he will be in clean air, so he might be able to hunt down his teammate, but he's going to be under constant attack from Cheater.
Yep. And sort of the other 5-car train from 6th to 10th. Well, I say 6th to 9th now, so we've got a 4-car train. Shoaib hasn't really been able to keep to the back of Martin, and now Martin is putting Blue Mosquito under pressure. So, I mean, what you said about Martin winning this race last season, I can see why. He has got good pace around here.
He always raves on about how China is one of his favorite tracks, so he's proven it. He's took a little while for the tires to come in, but he's starting to march now.
Yeah, and up in front, Hulk making a move on. Lordy going back down the inside. That was questionable. I don't know what happened there, but I think Lordy is going to let Hulk take the compromised line into the final corner. Now Lordy will have to go the long way around the outside into turn 1. Hulk squeezes Lordy. Lordy will go for the switchback. Ooh, almost spinning the rears. Has to counter steer to keep that Ferrari in check. And Hulk manages to get by.
Good car control to not totally spin that one.
Yeah, it's a good save from Lordy. And I mean, clean as well, considering he was counter steering the car. So again, just proves how clean this division is and how much respect these drivers have for each other.
Hey, Steba's closed the lead to within DRS range of Merc. Let's see what he could do with that.
Yeah. I mean, we might see some of these soft runners pit, just to because I mean, from now they can get to the end of the set of mediums. Their medium tyres do last quite a long time around China, so yeah. I mean, we might see some guys go for an undercut.
And how strong would you say the undercut is around here? 2-3 seconds?
Uh, yeah, I'd say like most tracks on this game, the undercut is quite strong. I'd say maybe about a second, second and a half. But putting cold mediums on, you're going to need them tires to work instantly. And now Martin, sorry, Matt, got a 5 second stop go in the same corner that we saw Game Freaker get his 5 second stop go. So whether that corner's a bit of a bogey corner, and the game doesn't really recognise that you're not really corner cutting, I don't know, but hopefully them guys get that penalty removed.
Oh, Shoaib speeding in the pit lane as he's the first car to pit, looking for the undercut on the whole field.
Yeah, that penalty won't get removed.
Nope, you can't dispute that one. You speed, you speed.
But we got 7th, 8th, and 9th.
Oh, okay, he put mediums on. It showed softs go onto his car for some reason.
Oh, it's all mediums. So, Shoaib will try and get the undercut on the guys ahead. So you've got the likes of Martin, Cheetah, and Blue Mosquito all under threat from Shoaib. And at the moment, these three are all battling Matt. So if Shoaib can have a good outlap, then he should get a major undercut on these guys who are currently battling for 7th place.
Oh, for sure. He has all the clean air in the world right now.
Yeah, but I mean, he's 23 seconds behind Betrayer. So whether he's had an off or he's half spun, he's lost a lot of time already. Interesting. I guess we'll see what happens when everyone else pits.
Yeah.
But remember, you got
here
Martin
they come.
And yep, front guys both in the pits. Oh, Stebber got very close to the back of Merck there. Done well not to slam into the back of him, but Mr. Grumpy carries on, as does Hulk and Game Freaker. And let's see where Stebber and Merck come out in relation to Shoaib.
Wow. Such a close field. You pit with the lead, you come out nice.
Wow. Now Stebber, that gap's still half a second, so I mean, Stebber's got every intention here to win the race today. He's got the pace to, you've got to say that, but at the moment Murky's putting on a fantastic display, and we saw him in Australia make a sort of bad mistake and go for a move that weren't really on, which meant Cheetah retired from the race, and I think he got wing damage himself, did Merck.
Yeah.
So Merck definitely got the pace here over Stebber, but I'm going to say Stebber's going to win.
Yeah, he's going to be hungry after last week. It was so close, and one curb snatched it from him.
Yeah, and I mean, Lars isn't here this week, so this is Stebber's chance to make an impact on that standing table.
Oh, yes. A shout out to Lars, by the way, who couldn't make it tonight due to an football injury. So, hoping for a speedy recovery for Lars, and hopefully we'll see him next Sunday.
Yeah, hopefully. They've got Game Freaker and Grumpy. And, wait. Oh, my bad. Not okay, so Game Freaker carried on. Hulk and Grumpy have pitted. So let's see where Grumpy comes out in relation to the guys who are currently net P1 and P2. Merck is going past the pit lane now. Grumpy coming out the pits now, so say about a second and a half gained from Stebber and Merck.
Yep. Haig and Simo, second and third, the two guys that opted to start the race on mediums and do the alternate strategy of mediums to softs.
Yep, and Ron Haig is in a much better position than Simo, because he's Ron Haig's actually about 4.5 seconds ahead of Simo. So, I mean, Ron Haig making the mediums work more than what Simo is. And Betrayer is down, well, I say down, he's 1.3 seconds behind Simo, but he's in the softs. So, whether them soft tyres have died completely for him, looks like they have, because he's absolutely tiptoeing around the track, and that is allowing Simo to get away from him. But you should expect Game Freaker to pick this lap with his teammate Hulk pitting last lap, and obviously when them two were so close on track, they both couldn't pit, otherwise they would double stack.
Exactly.
And here you go, game 3 car is into the pits. Let's see how much or where he even comes out, because he was battling with Blue Mosquito and Cheetah, so we expect him to be in between 10th and 11th.
And Betrayer's in as well. So everybody who started on a softs has pit. Only the 2 medium guys have stayed out.
Yep. And Stebar putting the pressure on Merck on their medium tyre, setting the fastest lap. Merck does go defensive into turn 1. So I think Stebar will wait until the back straight, so he'll have to stay behind that Red Bull for the whole of this lap. I think Stebar won't mind too much. It will give him a chance to save fuel and a bit of ERS for that long back straight. And importantly, Matt, Andy is ahead of Martin on track.
Yeah, every time that happens, Andy takes Martin's wing off by defending.
So what are we expecting? Andy's taking Martin's wing off, then Martin's just spin it in the wall?
No, Martin will pit to replace his wing, and they won't change it, then he'll retire. That's how it always happens.
Right. I'm going to hold you to that, Matt. If that happens, you're an oracle.
I haven't been in PSGL long, but I raced with these guys long enough to know all the tendencies.
Yeah, and up the front, Matt, Stebar will go for a move on Merck. It'll be very late into the braking zone. Tries to go around the outside. Merck does brake later. Does compromise his run though, and Stebar going for a bit of a switchback move. Who's going to have the traction? It's quite even. Going to go side by side to the final corner. Stebar around the outside. Merck gets a time penalty for it, and Stebar takes the net lead of the race. So Merck with that time penalty, Matt, he will have to get back past Stebar and get a 3-second gap if he wants to win this race. I don't see it happening.
I don't see it happening either, but he could pressure Steba enough to force Steba into his own 3-second penalty, then it's, game on from there.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite hard to get a penalty around China, but I'd say the only place we see guys get penalties is the final corner. It's so easy to go wide on exit or even cut the inside.
I actually got a penalty yesterday, 3-second penalty right here for going wide to let the lapped cars by.
Oh yeah, I saw that, yeah.
Like, really? I'm not even on the track.
Up the front, yep, Stebar on Simo. Merck should get a double toe here. So Merck might have to make the move on Stebar, but Stebar looking very strong. Simo does go defensive, so Simo is fighting these guys. Of course, this isn't them lapping him. This is awful position, and Simo gets by. Merck will have to hang back and hopefully hope for a better exit. He's got that. Simo goes wide. Merck will have to go a long way round into turn 1, as we've seen many cars do already. But then he'll get the switch back during turn 1. You can see that just there. Merck going down the inside, making the move.
Merck passing to Merck.
Yeah, Merck passing to Merck, yes. And Merck now finds himself up into 3rd place and hasn't lost that much time to Stebar, so it's good for him to stay within DRS and hopefully, as you said, Matt, force Stebar into a mistake.
Yeah. Now that the 2 net leaders got by Simo, I look for him to pit for the softs this lap.
Yeah, what lap are we on? 16.
And I won't be surprised. Oh, go ahead.
No, go on, go on.
I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if Haig pits on this lap as well. He had a puncture at one of the races last season, and ever since then he's been pretty easy on the tires.
Yeah, I mean, you can't really blame the guy, so...
Yeah. Huh. Feels like Merck had no... Oh, He just hit the back of Steb, but no wing fell off, it doesn't look like. Warren Haig continues. Simo into the pits.
Yep. Saw the Merc flash by going to the pits, but Merc around the outside again. Steber. He's going a long way around. Steber is defending it. Simo gets a 5 second stop go through Rory's. Merc backs out of it, and Steber keeps the place. And Andy is actually in P10, so at the moment he's running in the points.
Yes, he is.
So it's good for Andy, but I feel like, I mean, Martin was closing the gap to him a couple laps ago. I think it was at like 1.2, and now it's just under 3 seconds. So whether Martin had a bit of an off or maybe half spun, I don't know, but that gap now 3.1. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the battle between Martin and Andy. But up at the front, Merc looking for a move on Steber once again. It's going to be very late. He wants to make a move. He's going to be under braking round the outside. Steber brakes a lot later. Merc will go for a bit of a switchback. Steber plays in his car nicely there, not able to make any movements. But the battle between Game Freak and Cheetah heating up. We've got two Ferraris under attack here, and there's a virtual safety car. Martin's out. Martin has binned it, and I don't know what's happened to him there, but this is a virtual safety car. So will we see Ron Haig pit? I think Ron Haig might have just missed the pits. So interesting development here. But I feel like no one's pitting. Simo has pitted, and he's dead last on the set of softs. Shoaib is pitting as well.
Not a bad call. Softs will be the best at the end here.
Yep, definitely. Ooh! Game Freaker, Cheetah, Blue Mosquito and Lordy all tripping over each other. And now we get back racing. Hopefully no one got a drive-through like I did in my race. No one has. And we carry on racing here. And this is now allowed Lordy, Blue Mosquito, Cheetah and Game Freaker all to bunch up together. Now we've got both Ferraris again under attack, but it looks like Blue Mosquito looking at the quicker driver and is putting Lordy under immense pressure. But again, Lordy with that F1 experience, he's going to be used to seeing cars right behind him, so hopefully he keeps Blue Mosquito behind him. We have a four-way fight for sixth place all the way to the end of the race.
And being the leader of the train here, he could help his teammate get by the Force India.
Yep, and Merc. So, Merc got a 5 second. So, at that same corner, Merc got that 5 second stop.
God.
Now Merc gets another penalty.
That's race over for him.
Yeah, definitely. That's now 6 seconds worth of penalties and a 5 second stop go. That 5 second stop go might get knocked off because we have seen a lot of drivers get that 5 second stop go at that hairpin. And as you said, Matt, Ron Haig finally into the pits. But look at this. The Ferrari gang under attack. Blue Mosquito and Game Freak are making their moves on both of them. And they both get past. Blue Mosquito and Game Freak a touch. There's slight contact. But Blue Mosquito gets past, but Game Freak is still there on his inside. He's going to get the toe. He's going to go down the inside. Blue Mosquito, wow!
It looked like he got a nudge from behind.
Yeah, I was on board with Game Freak and he did not touch him, so that might have been a bit of desync. But for good measure, Blue Mosquito almost ended Cheetah's race. Excuse me. So this battle between these four cars definitely heating up. But at the moment, Game Freak have taken advantage of it and has now got that precious second gap to Cheetah behind him, and now Blue Mosquito looking like he wants to attack that Ferrari. He's absolutely outraged. Is the Force India driver. Cheetah doesn't get a good exit. Blue Mosquito with the DRS and ERS and slipstream, so 3 major factors here. While overtaking, Blue Mosquito around the outside. Cheetah defending nicely. Will Blue Mosquito go for a move into the final corner? He will. But it's a lot later, but given space. Look on board with Lordy to see this battle from his point of view. Blue Mosquito dipping into the slipstream again. Going to go around the outside. So going to try to hang it around there. I'm going to go on board with Lordy for this. He might find his way past Blue Mosquito. It's a good battle between these 3. Nice, fair so far. And Cheetah down the inside. And keeps the place for Blue Mosquito, or he gains the place, sorry. And I think Lordy's actually got wing damage there, Matt, because he's understeering quite heavily.
Yeah, he's missing an end plate on the left side.
It's unfortunate for Lordy.
You know, Andy has snuck into this battle now too. He's right in the back of Lordy.
I mean, Andy's in P9, so this is a battle for P8. As Lordy goes wide due to wing damage, Andy rubs his hands and goes, "Thank you very much." Easy position, Andy with the DRS, but Lordy boy, look how he's running a much slower wing to Andy. Andy does indeed get that move done, and we should see.
Oh, wow. Good save.
God. Good save. Definitely from Andy. Lordy boy carries on though. But the others in sector 3. Shoaib's out of the race. I don't know where he binned it. But Shoaib has retired from this race. I think maybe he knew he wasn't going to catch the guys ahead. But look behind Lordy boy, Matt, we've got Ron Haig on them soft tyres. So Ron Haig could still get a decent result here, considering he started on the medium tyres. Wow, Andy going for a bit of a dive bomb on Lordy, making the move stick. Good move from Lordy, but watch out for his understeer into his fast left-right sequence, and you can see there Andy with a superior grip and all of his front wings still intact. He's able to just get that move done. And Lordy boy is everywhere. I think Lordy boy needs to pit realistically. And Ron Haig now going for a move on Lordy. On that wounded Ferrari, Lordy putting up a massive fight considering the circumstances, but you just see here through the Snell section, he just understeers everywhere. And Ron Haig is able to get away from Lordy. And now Ron Haig on the attack on Andrew. Andrew defends inside. Ron Haig goes around the outside. Andrew breaks late. Ron Haig will have to hang it around the outside, and Andrew actually defended that really well. So fair play to Andrew, but I feel like Ron Haig's only a matter of time before he gets this move done and moves himself up into P8.
Blue Mosquito's looking to make a move on Cheater on the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, backs out of it though.
Yep.
And Ron Haig looking for that inside line. Andy, slight contact between the two of them. And Ron Haig looking to get a better traction out of the corner. And he has Andy almost losing the back end there, but again saving that McLaren. Now Ron Haig going to go round the outside. Going to go for a bit of a switchback. Andy does break late, nothing wrong with that. And again defends quite well from Ron Haig. I mean, I didn't know Andy had this in his locker, to be honest, Matt, to defend like this.
Sometimes you just got to pull it out of the bag.
Yep, Andy's definitely doing that right now. And, I mean, Game Freaker, considering Game Freaker, Cheetah, and Blue Mosquito all came out on the same bit of track, he's been able to get a 4-second advantage over Cheetah, so, I mean, it's pretty good race pace from Game Freaker, but we've got Hulk, the other Williams driver, putting Mr. Grumpy under pressure now, so this is a fight for the podium. A fight for the win, I think, is long gone. I think Steber has to win in the bag.
Well, don't forget, Merck has 11 seconds of penalties.
Oh yes, he does. So this is technically Hulk and Mr. Grumpy are fighting for second place effectively in this race.
Merck got back by Steba.
Oh wow, he did. So we missed out. So Merck not giving up, although he's got a million time second penalty. Merck not giving up and showing that he has got the pace to fight these guys at the front. So maybe we might be seeing here that a future champion of PSGL. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure. It's his first season, I believe, in PSGL, and he had a strong showing till a mistake last week, and very strong showing today, despite the penalties.
Yep. And I'm going to go on board with Hulk as he catches Grumpy. These two familiar with each other, definitely. So we might see some superb racing between these two. Grumpy looks like he's got a much better race out of that Snell section. So Hulk will have to hang back another lap, and already might run lap 23. So we've only got 5 more laps after this lap. After this lap, 4 laps. So this race is absolutely flown by. Ooh.
Hulk hits the back of Grumpy.
Wow. I caught the tail end of that. So will Hulk pit decides to carry on. I mean, he has got a 10-second advantage to his teammate. So I mean, it's a bit of a buffer, but Game Freaker will start to bring down that gap. So we'll keep an eye on that. But further down, Blue Mosquito picking up a time penalty. He runs wide at the final corner, not really making any inroads on Cheetah. Ron Haig. I think Ron Haig might have wing damage as well, because he's not really making any inroads on the quicker tyre. I feel like he should have overtaken Andy by now.
Well, all this has been going on quietly. Lordy Boy is pit for Ultras, going for the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah.
There it is.
There you go, Matt. I should say that. 33.8. So, will this be a retirement for a Ferrari driver? Will he carry on? I mean, he's going to carry on. But up at the front, Merck is actually getting a bit of a gap, but I mean, it is too little too late with all them time penalties that he has got. I think all in total has got about 6 seconds plus to 5 seconds to stop go, which should get removed. I mean, this corner here into the hairpin has been a bit of a bogey corner for the guys tonight.
Oh yeah, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't Hulk the other one that got that 5-second penalty for doing nothing?
I will have a look for you right now. It weren't Hulk. It weren't Grumpy.
Haig, maybe?
Haig. Nope, Haig is Haig hasn't even got a warning.
That's some stellar driving right there.
Yep, Andy's got a penalty and 2 warnings, so Andy is not far from 6 seconds. So as it stands, Ron Haig on just being very clean, not picking up not 1 warning. It's impressive driving from the Force Inter driver.
And just as a heads up, Hulk has fallen outside of that 11-second window of Merck.
Yeah, I think that's expected though, because his teammate is absolutely catching him now at a rate of knots. So that wing damage definitely holding Hulk up. So hopefully Hulk lets Game Freaker go if he does catch him. He should catch him, but I guess we'll find out. As behind them, Blue Mosquito again. He must be tired of seeing this Ferrari's back end. He's been behind Cheetah most of the race. Is this Blue Mosquito's time passed and stay passed? He's got a lot of ERS and deployment, so this is Blue Mosquito's chance. I reckon he's been saving this ERS for this moment. Is he going to go down the inside? No, he doesn't. Thinks better of it. I feel like anyone else would have just sent it up the inside there with the momentum Blue Mosquito was carrying.
I think he's going to take it on the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, he's going to get the DRS. use the ERS and slipstream. You just see how quick he's catching. He's looking for the inside, but ain't going to go for it. He's going to try and go down the inside. No, Cheetah defends it well.
Oh, he spawned.
Oh, can he not hit the wall? Wow.
Good car control,
look at this Andy now.
Keep it out of the wall.
Up into 7th place, Blue Mosquito down into 9th place as his teammate Ron Hay gets by as well. So Andy up into 7th place. A fantastic performance from Andy, Matt.
Oh, yes, for sure. During qualifying, it didn't look like he was going to have a very good weekend here in China, but he got everything together, got the dry conditions he was looking for, and he's marching through the field now.
Yeah, and Merck still ahead of Steber. But again, just the penalties for Merck costing him dearly here today. I look at Ron Haig, Matt. Andy goes defensive. Andy round the outside. There's still a bit of contact between the two. Ron Haig looking for a little bit of a switchback. And look at this, side by side through the Snell section. Andy defending well from Ron Haig, but you got to feel now that Ron Haig, this is his chance to go and pick up 7th place. He will anyway due to time penalties, but Andy put up a fantastic fight. Still round the outside, Ron Haig pushes him wide. Andy will not be happy with that. As a Blue Mosquito again takes a watching brief and watches his teammate get past Andy, and Simo picks up, and I think that's his 2nd time penalty. But Andy now round the outside. He's going to switch back to the inside. Yes, he is. Oh, there's contact, wheel rubbing. Nothing too major though. Ron Haig sticks it round the outside again, pushing Andy. Andy's on the gravel. Andy's able to save that. So in a matter of 2 corners, I mean, whether Ron Haig has got wing damage, I don't know. But for the most part, Ron Haig twice now pushed Andy off track.
I think he may have been trying to push him a little wide, hoping that his teammate would follow him through the hole, but maybe he got a little too aggressive on the push.
Yep, got back to the front back because we've got Steber all over the back of Merck.
Yep.
Down the back straight they go. Merck defends it. Steber around the outside. Merck will break late to try and defend it. He does defend it well from Steber, so Steber will have to go into the final lap and try and overtake Merck. I mean, he's going to get the win anyway.
Yeah.
Time pens. But that'll be a good battle to stay on board with. But we've got Andy now behind Blue Mosquito, so Andy must be absolutely livid at this point. He knows he needs to overtake Blue Mosquito. He's got DRS. Is he going to go for it? He does! Oh my god! Oh no!
I was on board with the battle for
Jesus. The lead. Oh, Matt, you just missed something special there. Andy went for an almighty dive bomb, not only on Ron Haig, but on Blue Mosquito as well, and it just ended in tears for Andy. And now Andy's teammate Betrayer.
That's going to go well. That's going to go well with the experienced guys in the league.
That was something special. Definitely. Wow.
It's a shame I missed that.
Oh. Man, I couldn't speak for a second. I lost my voice. Right now, Andy outside the points with his own mistake. I think Andy will be kicking himself over that. I mean, it's made my night seeing that. But back at the front, Matt.
Yep.
Can Steber make the move on Merck? I think Steber knows he's going to win, but he's going to go for an almighty dive bomb. Yes, he is. Merck going for a bit of a switchback, but no, can't make anything of it. And Steber takes the lead on the final, second to last corner. So it will be Steber who takes the win regardless. Merck will come home, maybe he will come home in 3rd place.
Yeah, he'll be 3rd.
Mr. Grumpy will pick up 2nd place. I thought he was going to get a time penalty then, so I think Mr. Grumpy will get 2nd. No,
actually, it didn't count the 5-second stop go.
Did Merck serve it?
I don't know, check to see. Was it before lap 11?
Merck. 3 seconds, 2 penalties. No, it was while he was on the mediums.
Oh. And they didn't add it. Huh. Well, either way, he's second or third.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow, what a race.
Gaming Almonda said it's added after. Haig has DNF'd.
And in the chat, Matt, he said, WTF, Simo. I don't really want to say what that means, but... So because of that, Andy did indeed finish in the points. It's only 10th place. It is only 1 point, but I think Andy will be breathing a sigh of relief, considering what he did in the second to last lap. Oh, you should have seen it, Matt. It was something to behold. It was something special.
Lordy Boy just stopped on track and gave Haig a wave.
Yeah, and now Lordy weaves across the line. Disappointing start to the season for Lordy Boy, but Stebber takes revenge here in China and gets the win from Merck and Mr. Grumpy.
All right. And here's your podium celebration. Toro Rosso on the top step of the podium this week. After coming so close last week at Australia to getting it, gets his redemption. And second, we have the Red Bull, and the third, we have the Mercedes. For some reason, I thought he was driving the Williams.
So,
all right, so a final rundown, if they pop up, will be Stebben first, Merck in second, Grumpy in third, your podium winners who will be coming in for the interview in a short time. Hulk in fourth, Game Freaker in fifth, Cheater in sixth, Betrayer in seventh, Blue Mosquito in eighth after an unfortunate spin, Simbo in ninth, Awesome Dude in 10th, Lordy Boy in 11th, and the rest of the field did not finish. Haig, Shoaib, and Martin. So let's get Stebba, Merck, and Grumpy into the party. Oops. All right, invitations are out to the podium winners.
wow. Good race that. Race sort of seemed to fly by as well, didn't it?
Yeah, I know. When you mentioned it was like lap 23, it's like it feels like we just started like 20 minutes ago.
I'm not going to complain.
I mean, time flies when you're having fun, and that sure was fun to watch.
Definitely. I wish you got what happened with Andy. It was spectacular. I might actually save the video clip and upload it just because it was that spectacular.
Oh, we were talking about the 5-second stop go. It was Martin that got the other one.
Ah, right, okay.
All right, so Grumpy declined the interview.
Oh.
Yeah, I think he said he had something to do after the race anyway. But
Fair enough.
All right, Merck said he can't join either, and
Wow.
so
So are we actually not going to have any podium interviews?
I
Maybe
guess
get Martin in here.
you know. Yeah, let's get Martin in here. Yeah, he is. I've never had a race where everyone declined the interview.
Wow. It just makes you feel loved, doesn't it? You know? Love it.
The only other time I had a short interview was my dad's birthday last season. I rushed to interviews just to go out to dinner. If Martin doesn't join within 30 seconds, we'll just end it here. And while we're waiting, next Sunday, 8 p.m. UK time, we will be live from Silverstone, and that should be an exciting race. It always is in the PSGL division. What do you look forward to next weekend, Britt?
I mean, I don't think Steber's joining.
All right.
Not Steber, Martin, sorry. So I think we should just end it here.
All right. So we'll see everybody next week. Sunday night, 8 p.m. live from the Britain racetrack. And everyone stay safe and see you soon. Thank you all for tuning in and see you next week.